Welcome Midtown Video web surfers. I'm Jesse Miller with What's Hot. Today we're featuring Sony's exciting new entrant to its S/S line of high-definition camcorders. You've already seen our video on the PMW EX1, and we're happy to present to you today the PMW EX1R. What does the R stand for? Totally awesome. Sony has responded to tons of user feedback and turned that all into awesome improvements for a camera that you are not going to want to miss. Let's take a look at some of these upgrades, breaking them down into monitoring solutions, software upgrades, including the ability to record in standard definition, and finally, ergonomic improvements. Let's take a look. The first thing to look at in the monitoring improvements is this brand new 3.5-inch HD LCD monitor. Resolution of 640 by 480, but nearly 1,000,000 effective pixels. This helps you see what you're shooting clearer than before. An additional monitoring improvement is the HDMI output. Now, not everybody's got the budget to put an HD SDI monitor on the set, so Sony has added HDMI monitoring for your prosumer level monitors. Now, HDMI still gives you the full raster 422 full resolution output, just like the HD SDI option. So whether you've got HD SDI or HDMI on the set, you're going to be covered in full HD. Let's move on to the ergonomic improvements. You'll remember from the EX1, it was kind of difficult to get the power switch to stop exactly where you wanted it. To go from camera to off, you might accidentally go into media, and vice versa. Well, with the EX1R, you've got this green locking button that allows you to stop exactly where you mean to. As my cousin Scott says, you can finally turn the camera off. You just push the button in and release when you want to stop. That makes it super easy to stop in the middle, whereas before it was a little bit more difficult. Let's take a look at some of the ergonomic improvements. Right off the bat, you'll notice this groove where your hand goes into the strap. Sony's actually cut out an indentation to make it more comfortable. Also, for handheld shooting, they've improved the grooves on the top handle and added this sexy piece of black plastic, which apart from looking really good, makes it even more comfortable to handhold the camera during long sessions. You can do it more comfortably for longer periods of time. Perhaps most importantly on the ergonomic side are the tripod threads. You may have experienced difficulty mating a tripod plate to the bottom of your EX1. That's because all you had was one screw hole and one locking pin hole. Now we've added an additional hole, so you can have two 1/4" 20 screws going through your tripod plate directly into the camera to reduce or totally eliminate the wiggle you used to experience with the EX1. Let's move on now to some software improvements. The first software improvement I'd like to point out is codec versatility. You can now record in the DVCAM codec, which is standard definition, on the exact same S/S cards as your high definition footage. You don't even have to switch cards when switching from high definition to standard definition recording. Additionally, in codec versatility, you've got the option to record in 1440 by 1080, the HDV resolution. This makes it even easier to match up your EX1R footage and your HDV cameras, the Z7, the Z1, on the exact same timeline. The second software improvement is called cache recording. As long as you enable the feature ahead of time, your camera can actually go back in time and catch up to 15 seconds that you may have missed before hitting the record button. Your camera can actually go back in time and catch up to 15 seconds that you may have missed before hitting the record button. This is extremely useful in sporting events, news gathering, or other situations where you've got to be really quick on the record button. Thanks for watching our video. This has been the PMW EX1R on What's Hot with Jesse Miller. And remember, when you see property of Midtown Video, you are guaranteed it is awesome.